Prabha Narasimhan took over as the MD of Colgate Palmolive India in 2022 after many years at HUL. On the sidelines of Goa Fest 2023, Storyboard 18's Dilshad Irani caught up with Narasimhan, where she opened up about marketers chasing virality, the new bottom line for businesses, the ascendance of AI, and how bullish she is on the new digital India. And of course, she also shared her thoughts on IPL.
Hello and welcome to Storyboard 18, Prabha. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
So, Prabha, since we are at Goa Fest, it is the epicenter of creativity for India. Let me just ask you then quickly, what is the one big idea that has come out of Colgate in recent times and a piece of work that you think should be the direction in which you want the brand to go in?
So thank you for asking me this question. It could not have come actually at a better time because we have just released our new Colgate Strong Teeth creative. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but the fundamental idea of it really has two parts to it. One, it amplifies the benefit of strong teeth through the cutting machine analogy. And the second is it subtly and organically weaves in the science of calcium plus arginine, which is really the backbone of Colgate Strong Teeth that allows it to deliver the strong teeth and the remineralization. And what I love about this creative is that, I'm not sure if you've seen the piece of advertising, but it's really about this toothless granny talking about how she nourishes the teeth of her granddaughter so that her granddaughter is able to be this very efficient, very adorable cutting machine. And what I love about this piece of advertising is that it is just so true. It talks to the values that Colgate Strong Teeth has held for a long, long period of time, the values of caring, of family, of intergenerational connect, with a product that delivers to the core of Colgate, which is better oral health.
So you also mentioned earlier the bit about how Colgate has been such a long-standing brand, right? So how do you keep things fresh, especially with the pace that we are going in? How do you manage to sort of keep, especially with your marketing initiatives, how do you do that?
So I think there are two or three things that we look at. Firstly, while the brand is old and we've been in this country for 85 years now, the effort to stay current with what consumers needs, what their aspirations are and what they want is actually critical for us. And so some core values we hold dear, like the things I talked about, family values, intergenerational connect, those are held dear and they are constant, but some things evolve in terms of how we express that. And that's really what we look to do. So the first is about having strong core consumer connect. And that is up and down the width of the organization. The second, of course, is now we're really lucky to just have so much data. You have so many options, so many cuts, so many slices. A lot of it is real time. You can get feedback. Like we've put this piece of communication out. We've already got so much feedback on it. And I think it's fantastic. And that allows us just to keep getting better and better and pushing the envelope more and more. So those are kind of, I think, the two key aspects of how do we make sure that an 85-year-old brand stays as current as the day it was launched.
You know, it's really interesting to me because I don't see Colgate as a brand that typically chases virality. But we know that marketers today do on some level chase virality. They want their campaigns, they want their brand to go viral in a good way, of course. And there have been two campaigns that have really stood out. There was one with an influencer that you had, which, flaws are beautiful, for instance. And then you have this campaign again. And so has that ever been a thing for you where virality has been a sort of metric that you have looked at, whether it's your time here or in your previous experiences? Put on your marketer hat for a second right now and tell me if you've ever thought of that as a metric.
So I must confess, in the early days, we did think of it and we used to spend a lot of time chasing virality. But as I've got older and hopefully wiser, I think I've realized that you can't chase virality. Things go viral when they have a certain inherent appeal and therefore people share it because it appeals to them at a deeper level than advertising. And in fact, consumers are very, very quick to spot something that's being pushed to them for the sake of virality. So in my head, I must confess, I've stopped chasing it. The brief is now, please, can we create good work that stays true to the core of what's the benefit that the brand is offering? And then if the virality comes, that's fantastic. It is one indicator of we've done a good job. If it doesn't come, that's also okay.
Absolutely, not manufacturing virality for certain. Let me just sort of zoom out a little bit, Prabha, and ask you about something that has been a long-standing trend for the past maybe a decade or so, which is purpose in brand building. And we've been seeing how important it's getting, especially with ESG and sustainability being very top on the agenda of corporations across the world. Do you see now a stronger case being built for connecting purpose and profits? Because typically there was lots of skepticism about, is purpose-driven brand building really helping the business and bottom line? So let me ask you then, is the new bottom line for you people, planet, profits?
So I think I'm lucky to have worked for two companies and this one also where this is actually at the core. So at the Colgate purpose globally and for India is reimagining a healthier world for people, their pets and the planet. And I think that just kind of sums it up. And when I think about how that translates into real action, because you can have any kind of statement, but what is the action that backs up this statement? I think the first one is a long-standing commitment to improving oral health in this country. So there is this Colgate flagship program of the Bright Smiles, Bright Future, which teaches oral health education to children in rural India. We've been running this program for multiple decades now and have reached over 170 million children. We've doubled down on our commitment on that program, have just recently working with the Andhra Pradesh government to reach 4 million children in Andhra Pradesh with this program. So that's one of the big ways in which we translate this whole idea of reimagining a healthier future. The second, of course, is through technology. We are a science-based company. Our products are about science. We like the idea of putting technology. And one of the great things that we've done recently is really to create, along with partners, a recyclable toothpaste tube. It is the first recyclable toothpaste tube. And what we have done is to make that available to other companies so that all toothpaste tubes can become recyclable and hopefully therefore create a circular economy around one source of waste. So these are a couple of examples of how this company actually at its heart lives its purpose. And like we were discussing earlier, for me, purpose is about what you do, the entirety of your ecosystem, rather than are you able to put out a piece of communication that talks about purpose.
Lovely. It was lovely chatting with you, Prabha. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, Yes Bank unveiled its refreshed brand identity this week. We're catching up with Nipun Kaushal, Chief Marketing Officer and Head CSR Yes Bank to find out more.